Okay, so let's get started with the mixing. And the first stage that we're going to look at is volume leveling. And I think personally this is one of the most important parts of your mix. And as I mentioned in the previous video, it's something that you have been doing both during the orchestration stage and at all times during the recording stage. So most likely you have a pretty alright level balance already, but right now we're going to focus a bit more on it and try to make it as good as possible, because most of the mixing work, I'd even say like 80% of the mixing work just lies in the volume leveling. So just try to do as much as you can at this stage, and don't think that you can fix everything with some EQ stuff later in the mix, because most of the magic happens at the leveling stage. And this is the same process whether you mix within the recorded project or if you start from scratch with audio files. So what I'm just going to try to do now is to replicate the balance of this and try to fix any problems in my mix through just basic volume leveling only. Let's hear what we have so far. So my first impression is that my mix is sounding a little bit harsh and a little bit cluttered together. It's not so spacious and deep as these ones. So I'm gonna start working not with the EQ, not with any compression, and not any other fancy plugins. I'm trying to do as much as I can possibly do purely by mixing with the volume levels. And that this is so important, because most people, they just reach for an EQ as soon as they want to do basically anything in their mix. And I've been guilty of doing that for a long time. But as soon as you start focusing on getting your volume balance right, a lot of other things slowly starts to fall into place. And now I know there is some EQ stuff going on in the different instruments, and I will turn them off as soon as I see any of that stuff happening, so we can start try to do every choice in terms of both EQ, volume, and panning. So what I want to do first now, I think I'm gonna start actually at the climax a little bit, and I'm going to save different versions of this project, like different stages. So now I'm going to save this one as the volume 1, because maybe I want to go back to an earlier version, because I realized the direction it's taking is not the best. So I can just go back and start from a previous stage. So let me just save it. Okay, so my first impression from this track is that my track, the choirs and all those elements, they are really pushed up loud in terms of volume, while in this track they are much more further back, while the percussion and the bass and the core instruments are more prominent and pushed forward, dominating the mix a bit. And this is, I think, a little bit also because of the pop and electronic music background of Ivan Torrent. He has a really good mix, and I'm gonna try to kind of replicate a bit of that balance and see if that's gonna help my mix. I want to see if I've been putting on any EQ here in the choirs. Yeah. So there's only been some low cut. Take it back a little bit. Let me see what's going on. I also hear that these two choirs, they're not singing the exact same words at the same time, so I'm just gonna make them do that and freeze the track so they always will sing the same words. Now I think they're on the same word, so I'm just gonna click freeze. Freeze is a good function, especially also if you are working on a more limited computer system where you don't have as much RAM as you'd like, for example. Freezing the tracks would then unload the samples and then simply turn it into an audio file, pretty much. But you can always unfreeze it and get back the virtual instrument if you want to do any changes, because now I can't change anything. It's frozen, hence the name. Strange, it seems like they are still not singing the same words. Let me unfreeze it again. Let's see. Let's see now. Yeah, so now they're singing the same words. What I want to do now is that I'm actually gonna try to mute a lot of the things that's going on here, except for the drums and the choirs, actually. I want to see if I push them a little bit further back here now. Let me see if this also... And you can see that these ones are panned a little bit, so I'm gonna take them back to center so we can look at that later. So now the choirs are a little bit more back, and I felt they were taking a little bit too much space in their mix. So let me see. I also feel that the staccato strings are just going all over the place, basically. Let me see, it might be this. so sure about these violins actually anymore from a mixing point of view. They might take a little bit too much space in the mix. So I'm going to just chop it off right here. Oops. For now, and just move it over there. I can always just get them back later, but for now, because I can't mute this, then I'll mute everything these are playing, but I will see, like, less is more a lot of times, and I think these ones might take a little bit too much space in the mix. Also, these runs might be a little bit too much. Let me see if I can just quickly take them down a little bit. Yeah, for now. Like that. I think pushing some of those elements a little bit further back might open everything up a little bit, because earlier they were taking a little bit too much space, covering up some of the more important elements. And something I want to make a bit more prominent that kind of falls to the background is the bass and the rhythmic elements, like the percussion. Because as you can hear in this example, you can really hear them clearly. Same with this one. Let's listen. You can hear all the percussion instruments really clearly. Same as this track. While in this one, it's a little bit drowning. Now just taking down the choirs a little bit, I think it sounds a little bit better already. Still, it's kind of drowning a little bit, so, and I hear that there's this one thing, I think is these ones.